Signalis. I can't say Signalis. Signalis just sounds wrong. I have to say Signalis because it reminds me of Gloria from Modern Family. But welcome to a bonus episode of, well, it's still a series. It's still an episode within the Signalis life cycle. I have to be honest. It's been a while since I've played that game. Maybe like almost 2 weeks since I finished Signalis on Xbox Game Pass, which by the way, it's gone from Xbox Game Pass. So if I want to play that game, which I kind of do want to get that game and collect it because I think it's a game that I want 100%, and I like the game. I want to play it again, but not right now, but I want to play it again later. We might get it on Steam, but maybe we'll get it on Xbox, because if we get it on Xbox, then I have my save file. I don't know how to, on PC, I don't know how to, it's not that simple to transfer save files on PC from like Xbox Game Pass to Steam. It's just it's not that simple. It's super complicated. For some games it's easy. Anyways, that game Signalis has been living in my mind for rent free for the last couple of days, and I feel like we didn't do the game justice. Usually I like to fully complete a game, look into all the endings, things like that. For Trek to Yomi, that game was going away on Xbox Game Pass, so we weren't able to finish it. For Signalis, same exact thing. Yeah, I know I'm cheap. I could have just bought the game, which we'll eventually buy, because I have my save file on Xbox Game Pass, and I do want to play it again with the update and stuff. But I actually first need to see, because they didn't release the update for Signalis on Xbox Game Pass, so maybe you have to be on Steam to play the update, in which case I'll have to get the game on Steam, but then I can use the debug menu and kind of zoom through the game so we can do all the endings and stuff. But anyways, the game's been living rent-free in my mind. I feel like I need closure. I need to know what the other endings are, and also I need someone to talk to me like I'm a 2-year-old and explain the game to me, because I feel like this game is the type of game where it's trying to be like Christopher Nolan, M. Night Shyamalan, whatever that dude's name is. It's trying to be like that, where it's trying to give you, it's not at that level, nowhere near that level. However, it's not giving you a story. It's giving you parts of experiences and memories, and then it's having the person who is playing the game put that together and come up with their own story, their own explanation. Because I think even the people who made this game, Barbara and Yuri, I don't think they have a story in mind either. It's going to be one of those things where they'll never tell you, because they want people to talk about it and to come up with stories, come up with explanations, and give it your own little, oh, they were all part of a simulation. Oh, it's virtual reality. Oh, they never existed. Oh, it's just a video. I don't know. It's just one of those things. So I want someone to talk to me like I'm a 2-year-old and explain it to me. So that's why we are here today. We need closure. All right. We've bought the gift. We've wrapped it up, and now we need to put a bow on it and send it off. This is that episode, the final episode of Signalis, where I'm just going to watch a video. We're going to go through the ending. So I have this open. This is the wiki. Usually this is the perfect thing to use for any game to give you information on. I use this a lot for Vampire Survivors, but the wiki for Vampire Survivors. We'll go through some of the endings. Then I found all the endings on YouTube. We'll be going through that, and then there is the story of Signalis. This one is 41 minutes. Super long. Okay, we might watch you. We'll see. 41-minute video. We'll see. God damn, that is long. We'll see. I thought it was 20 minutes. Is it not 20 minutes? Oh, this is like 20 minutes. Is there not a video that's not? Okay, we'll look up something. All right. There was another video that was 2 hours and like 7 minutes, and I like this game. I really do. But I don't know if I can watch like a 2 hours, 7-minute video of somebody talking about a video game. Maybe I'm at the strip club and they have it playing in the background. Maybe that would keep my attention, but there's no way in hell that I can sit and watch a video like that. However, we are here doing this. I was going to watch the video anyway. Might as well watch it and kind of give my thoughts and have it archived on this channel with this series. So without any further ado, 4 minutes and 34 seconds of your life has been wasted listening to me. So let's begin. So this is the wiki. This shows there's a false ending. I'm not going to read through all that. But what I wanted to show you was this part. Requirements for each ending. Total active. So information requirement. What affects the ending? The game keeps tracks of values named leave, circle. So these are all the different endings right here. which are scored based on player statistics. The game starts with 2 points, and then after a while, depending on how many points you get, is which ending you get, which is kind of weird. When I was actually playing the game and I saw this at the very last part where I was trying to figure out, I saw the debug menu or something. I kind of figured this stuff out. I saw this and I was like, oh, so it's kind of like mathematics that are involved, and I might have to go to watch a YouTube video, and I still had a short amount of time to play the game. I just wasn't interested. So instead, we got our true ending, which is the ending that we earned by playing the game the way we played. And the other endings, I was like, you know what, we'll just do it some other time. But there's some math involved or something. And then there's also a Steam guide that someone has that shows more information about all that. We're not going to go into all that, but I just wanted to show you guys this. If you're interested, you can check it out. I'll put the link to all these things in the description below. But yeah, there's apparently leave, memory, promise, artifact. There's 4 or 5. Apparently there's 5 because this says 5 endings. So maybe there's like a secret ending or something like that. We got the leave ending. So without further ado, let's watch all the endings. By the way, this is from Search Games. Signalis, all endings, parentheses, 5 endings. And sadly, no one watches or records in 4K for some reason. So it's not going to be the best, but it is what it is. We are going to skip through a lot of things. Just cause. It's impossible to move on. I have been here so many times, but I have never returned. The commander never spoke about what she saw out there. I'm sure whatever it was made. It's what made her fall sick. Something about her changed when she returned to me. She was no longer our beloved reader, Falk, but waits beyond the threshold.
It doesn't matter.
Alright, a bunch of German stuff. A lot of this stuff I think repeats, because we saw this stuff. So a lot of this stuff, we'll watch it once, the ending once through, and then after this we'll skip through on any of the stuff that's repeats and just watch the extra stuff. Because again, I was going to watch this anyway. So might as well archive it on the channel. Beyond the Gate. Emptiness. Yeah, we went through all this as well. He's walking in the abyss. They reused this picture from Adler. Who are you? One thing I will say about this game is it has a lot of fluff. Like, you can tell they're just dragging things on for no reason, trying to be artistic. I will say that. Come closer. Like, by all means, this game isn't perfect or anywhere close to perfect, but it's different. It's an attempt to become something different, and I respect that. People say it's similar to Resident Evil. I haven't played any of the Resident Evils, so I can't say anything about that. That's the white-haired shorty. All the different machines, right? That's the flesh that's beating for us. The weird filter they learned, Ariana Grande. The weird filter they learned that they have to include into every single video. Island picture. She gets slapped in the face by the wind. That's Falk, I think, right? Or we are Falk. The butthole. The filter they're reusing again. The weird pentagram diagram thingy. But especially coming back to this game and watching this, kind of like, I really get the feeling that like they just dragged it along for no reason. Caressing the ship. Remember our promise. The promise she made to her shorty. How long is this? Alright, we're almost done with this ending. Wake up. She doesn't break her hand this time, right? That filter they just had to use because they just learned this new effect. They want to implement it wherever they can. Nipple. She breaks her hand again. Oh wait, is this the ending? The fake end. Oh, this is the fake ending. This is where the game ends and you think the game ends, but you click begin again. That's not an ending though. That's not a fake ending. I don't think that's a fake ending. Yeah, I don't think that's an actual ending. I don't even think it's, yeah, that's what this is. We're gonna skip forward to the, all right, this is Leave. This is the one that we got. Okay, so we'll watch this. Yeah, that's not a true ending. I don't think it should be called a fake ending or included. Now we are win. That's when we killed Falk. That's Falk down there. I've been waiting for this. Also, this thing bothers me so much. This space was intentionally left blank. Come on, dog. You're just adding fluff, man. I've written essays in college, right? I know what fluff is. It's Adler. You've returned. You're just standing there all flesh naked. That's the nastiest birthday suit ever. You've seen what happens. This world cannot take much more. This may be our last chance. Shorty, you gotta walk a little bit faster. If you go back, it'll all fall apart. Cannot let that happen. Not again. He didn't say that again. You selfish monster. We'll watch through this once. I gotta stop. That's some bad reflexes. I was gonna say some good reflexes, but no. She got stabbed and she shot him at the same time. But like, as good as she is, how could she not dodge the knife to the eye? And also, that knife goes in pretty deep. Shouldn't that like go straight into the brain? But I guess, yeah, that's like what, the CPU of a robot. Shouldn't that get damaged? Maybe it's nothing there in their brain. They remove the brain out of it, but they're humanoids. That's why I don't understand. I feel like it should be an instant death for them too. But I guess not. The same ship, the same touching. What do we give this game an 8.5? And she's gonna climb up, she'll open the hatch, and this time it actually opens. Right? Yeah, she should be powerful enough to open it now. Or she's ready to open it now. This is the ending that we got. And then you play through a little bit of the game, and then you come to the part where they say are you ready to return home? And you say yes. Because you know there's nothing left for you. There she is coming out of the ship on the left. In the end, I had to leave everything behind, but it's too much. Forgive me. Also, I don't understand, like, you leave time for the spaces intentionally left blank, but words that you actually need to read in the game, they just pass through that so quick that you can't even read it. Like, why? Yeah, you spend like 6 seconds on the intentionally left blank screen. Endy. Is that how you say end in German with an extra E? And then she's left alone with stubs as feet. I don't buy that though. Humanoids should have actual feet to be running fast. I don't think you just cut off. Maybe they don't have. Maybe the developers don't have a foot fetish. They're strongly against a foot fetish, and that's why they just chopped it from the ankle and it's gone. This is the promise ending. Okay, this is the same thing. Once again, you returned. Maybe our last chance. It'll fall apart. Shot. He gets moved. She walks back. Why'd they leave this part in? Like, okay, she opens the thing, so I'm guessing you do something, and then this happens. All right. I apologize for the quality. It's the video. It's just really poorly done. I watched a lot of them, but they were all like this. So she finds her shorty laying in the hibernation egg sac. That makes you younger. Dude, I wouldn't kiss her. You don't know where that forehead's been, man. Oh, she's alive. Is she in a pool of blood? Yeah, she is. Is that her own blood? Elsta.
Oh, baby. Give me a smooch.
I can't do it. Looks pretty cool though. You have to do it. Oh, she has to take her out of her misery. It's time for this to end. I'm gonna say nah, just leave. Oh, she said please. Never mind, we'll do it. We'll do it. She said please. Oh, is this like that Matrix scene where Neo puts her hand in Trinity and takes out the bullet? Oh, is she gonna drown her? She's choking her. I'm sorry. Gomenasai. Gomenne. And dead. She killed her. She put her out of her misery. Wouldn't it be easier just to crack her neck? Because I feel like choking would be a lot more painful. I feel like just tell her to get her body up, make her look. Thank you. Look her, have her look the other way, and then just crack that neck. A wet one, a wet kiss. Dude, at this point, why not go for the lips? Why go for the forehead? Like, you finally found her and you love her, right? So why not go for the lips? Because you can't go for the lips now. She dead. That's just gross. But when she was alive, why didn't you go for the lips? Now go for the forehead. Oh, she's limping. She can't go on. I have fallen and I cannot get up. That's that eyeball. And this time it going backwards is going... Never mind, it's going backwards. It's going up. Never mind. I was going to say it's going down this time. And then she is dead. The life is left. This is like Notebook. She dies and then Elstar dies afterwards. But this quality is like horrendously bad. I know it's 4K and then we're watching this. This is 1080p and we're watching in 4K, but still, this is horrendously bad. Okay, so that's one of the endings. You both die together, but you end up killing her, which is weird. Like, you kill yourself, dog. I'm not having that on my... I don't know. I have that on my conscience. Fall happens once again. Yeah, he says the same stuff. Why even include this part? Just include the part that's different. Also, I'm guessing when you open the hatch, you do different things, but that stuff you do before you open the hatch and then to the last cutscene, I think it's like a 2-minute long type thing. So it doesn't even really matter that how much time is spent. Like, it doesn't really matter to see all that, because it's like, I'm pretty sure you just walk here, pick something up. I don't even pick anything up. You just go from here to here to here to there. And yeah, I don't think it's anything really worth watching. Also, I was changing the movie that I had playing on in the background while I was talking. Okay, so she opens the hatch. This time she's not filled in with a pool of blood. Didn't we come into the hatch before and we didn't see anything? Kind of funky. Remember our promise. Right, this time she's not... is she in a pool of blood? I don't think so. But the lights are on. It's more happy. Dude, go for the lips, man. She's up. Now she's in a pool of blood. I've come back for you. Or what's left of you. It's me, Elsta. My bad. It's me, Pedrita. Pedrita? I'm sorry, but I don't remember any Pedrita. It's okay. Don't worry, just regain your... If she loved you once, she'll love you again. You're the same person, right? Oh, she's dying, that's why. She's gonna lay here next to her. I would drink some of that blood. If I'm dying, I'm curious what that tastes like, that bathwater. Each bean. Perhaps this is hell. Oh, she's dying? Dead. Please, just let me stay by your side a little longer. I don't know who you... Imagine a stranger. Like, yeah, you lost your memory or whatever. A stranger says to let me live by your side and they're all bloody as you're in a pool of blood yourself. I would be like, get the hell out of here, dog. So does the Ariana Grande, does she die? That chick? Oh, this is a new ending? Oh, this is Artifact. Lily. Is that how lilies look like? Maybe you don't know. Also, I accidentally have my mic on my hand. She's already dead and gone, and this is what she's remembering her by, and she just dies like an idiot. With all the other ones dead as well, because they couldn't find. Is that us in different multiverses or whatever? That's Falk as a diamond. I don't know. A gemstone. Donut hole. That's a glory hole if I've ever seen one. Portable one. East Weint Wolint Das Dimni. Okay. Oh, the ship works? No, it's on the ground. Never mind. The sun is an eyeball that is staring. Remember our promise. That eyeball is staring right at us. Remember. Oh wait, she made it back. Is this artifact? Yeah. No, she's thinking of them dancing, but see, going for the kiss. Yeah, there you go. Go in. Slurp, slurp, slurp that tongue. All right. So yeah, this is from Squatch and Gaming Official. I'll have the link in the description below. What I will mention is that 41 minutes, I can't do it. It's too long. I like the game. I can't. If this was playing maybe if I'm at a strip club and it's playing in the background, maybe then I'll watch it, keep my attention. But just sitting here and just watching a 41-minute video about a game that I'm not even playing, but I'm just watching someone else talk about, I'll be honest, I can't do it. I don't have a short attention span. I'm stupid, doofus, whatever you want to say. I can't do it. But what we will do is, since in this video we watched all the different endings, and that's the main thing that I'm worried about, we will do is watch the dream world, which kind of explains the world. I don't care about the background of the world. I don't care about the Ito Ariana. So let's watch the dream world, and then Elstar's journey, and then ending.
Ariane had always felt that she was useless and insignificant. In fact, it was partly those feelings that led her to the Penrose program to begin with. But there was actually something incredibly special about her. She was bioresonant, with powers that may have even surpassed the level of the Yusan Empress. These powers had always laid dormant within her, barely detectable even by the Yusan nation. The only person that picked up on her power was a spy from the Empire that had fled Rotfront around the time she was at the colony. And now, with Ariane having been left alone on the Penrose, pushed to the brink of death, that bioresonant power surged from within her, interacting with her mind to create a dream world. Making up the world were various environments that were built upon her memories, like a rendering of the Penrose that she and Elster had lived on for so long, and built upon her dream.
Why was she alone,
like
though?
A
What happened to Elster?
Environment known as Nowhere, full of fleshy masses that seemed to symbolize not only the darkest parts of her mind, but the cancerous growths that were spreading in her own body.
I thought it was an anime that's
included
very
among
similar
these
to
environments,
that.
built atop the Nightmare section of Nowhere, was a full rendering of the Sierpinski facility, complete with a replica staff that was stationed there. Even stranger was the fact that these replicas seemed to go about their days as if they lived in the real world.
This seems a little too intricate of a explanation that there was a dream world created. Again, this is probably this person's thoughts on how this world came about, but it just seems a little too much where this whole dream world was that detail created from her powers.
Was another possibility. Using her bioresonance, which flowed through the entire universe, she could have tapped into the minds of other bioresonant sensitive beings like replicas back in the planetary system, and built the facility using their memories, populating it with replications of the replicas that were stationed on the real Sierpinski. In any case, whether created solely from her mind or being a conglomeration of her dreams and memories along with the dreams and memories of other bioresonant beings, what was clear was that there were a series of environments that were at the whims of Ariane's bioresonant powers, and through these environments walked another relic of Ariane's mind, her lover, Elster. Impressed upon the mind of Elster was the need to find somebody close to her, and she searched through the various dream environments to find this person. However, despite being made by Ariane's mind, Elster was not looking for her, but Alina so. A mix-up that may have emerged from the remnants of Lilith's memories existing in the bioresonant template of Elster's mind, but may have also
We're in the
emerged
mind of a
from
mind of a
Ariane's
mind.
obsession with Alina, conflating their identities together and confusing Elster's mind. Either way, Elster began her search in the Penrose, and after making her way through a square stone gate, and a replication of Ariane's radio room from her home on Rotfront, she found herself in the Sierpinski.
Again, in the simulation. I think it's more of a simulation than a dream
the
world.
Labyrinthine halls of the nightmarish area of nowhere to seemingly come back to where she started, passing through the square stone gate and coming to the Penrose. However, upon her return to the ship, she regained all of her memories, remembering who she was truly searching for and the promise she made to Ariane.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then would once again go through Ariane's dream world to fulfill her promise, but this time going through Rotfront instead of the Sierpinski.
Because Rotfront is where she's from.
She didn't make this journey one time, though. She made it multiple times, and each time she would fail.
Yeah, we remember this.
Either by dying before fulfilling her promise, or giving it up completely. And when this happened, she would be reset, starting her journey over from the beginning, forced to go through it again, forever looping.
But is she being
fulfilled her promise.
She's being forced by Ariana,
However,
right?
Strangely, while the dream world seemed to reset along with her, reverting all the replicas and environments back to their original states and memories, Elster's previous bodies would remain where they were.
Yeah, that's us.
Reminders of her failures from previous loops.
Okay.
Additionally, as Elster went through more and more cycles of her journey, something strange began to happen to the Adler unit in the Sierpinski. He began to have several moments of deja vu.
Yeah, because
he's been
experiencing this over and over again.
He was sure he'd experienced before, with a detail or two changed or different.
And he's supposed to be like the administrative person or whatever, so I'm guessing he's the one who's supposed to be overseeing everything, so he's catching on to these repeating cycles.
But at the same time, knew that he had never seen either of them before in his life. He racked his mind trying to understand what was happening to him, sensing that the depths below the Sierpinski were the key to it all. And then, he figured it out. He realized he was in a loop, and those moments of deja vu and his
just like that anime,
of
man.
people he'd never met before was
Disappearance
him remembering
of Haruhi
events
Suzumiya or
from
whatever,
previous realities,
or adventures or something.
previous cycles of Elster's journey through the facility. The realization tore at his mind, destabilizing it and causing him to act in weird ways. During one particular cycle, or perhaps in more of them, the Falk unit of the Sierpinski was lured to the depths of the dream world, perhaps by the Adler unit, and came upon the gate that led to the Penrose. Intrigued, she crossed the threshold, and when she came upon the ship, all of the memories of Elster rushed into her head. However, unlike Elster, whose purpose was clarified when she went through this, Falk was left incredibly confused.
Yeah, because they're not your memories.
Having Elster's memories meant she felt the love for Ariane and the compulsion to find her just like Elster did, but she also had all of her own memories and the desires and compulsions that came with them. Being caught between identities like this caused Falk to destabilize and eventually become sick. Her illness was so debilitating that all she did was lay in her bed, unable to perform any of the duties she normally did to keep the facility running.
Yeah, because she was the commander.
Without her guidance, along with Adler's strange behavior from his own destabilization, things got hard for the Sierpinski. And then, they got even worse. An illness began to spread through the facility, infecting replica and Gestalt alike.
So that was cancer, right?
It began as nausea,
contagious
headaches,
cancer,
and dehydration. But patients soon began to experience sharp cognitive decline, and their skin began to peel from their bodies.
Yeah, and then they
Any
started
Gestalt
burning
affected
people.
with the sickness quickly died from it, their bodies dissolving into nothing, with only shadows on the walls and floors showing evidence of their previous physical existence.
Oh, that's what happened to that one
While
chick,
replicas
Issa or
expired
whatever.
from the illness as well, they also had another reaction. Their physical bodies would never dissolve away, but continue to deteriorate, giving them a terrifying, monstrous appearance. And due to the cognitive decline they experienced, they would become highly aggressive and attack those around them, necessitating a decommission by force. Follow-up autopsies performed on these sick replicas showed that their insides were being ravaged by cancerous growths that, to the horror of the medical examiner, were found could cause the decommissioned units to come back online and continue their attack.
It's like zombies, and
in a way,
zombies,
it seemed like the
to
replica's sickness was a manifestation of the suffering that Ariane herself was going through, being stricken with cancer and yet being unable to die. The only way to truly kill the replicas affected with this cancerous
burn
illness...
the bodies. But this is within the dream world, so this is whatever is happening in the dream world is happening in the real world as well? Or is it the simulation within Ariane's mind that's causing this infection? Because it doesn't really make sense for if in the real world she's infecting others when she's all alone. Otherwise, the only thing I can think of is she created a dream world within the world and everyone's captured within the world, which, because it's her world, everyone's getting afflicted with her disease, is what I'm thinking.
Was thrown into full-blown chaos. He reflected on when the sickness first came up, after Falk came back from her trip through the gate that, through his memories of past cycles, he remembered was the destination of Elster. This led him to conclude that it was not a disease or poison that Falk had brought back from beyond the gate, but was something linked to Elster's journeys through the facility, the loops she was making.
I don't think it's because of Elster. I think it's because you're in the dream world.
They were causing a breakdown of reality itself.
Yeah, and everyone...
A breakdown that would eventually tear the world apart.
Everyone within it is being affected.
He was right. As if a manifestation of Elster could ever reach Ariane.
If you're in the world, the reason I'm not pausing is because I might mess around with OBS. But if you're somehow connected to the dream world, you're getting infected, is what I'm thinking. Instead of the loop thing, I think it's the Ariana's dream world is causing it.
Ariane and fulfill her promise to end her suffering, then Ariane's dream world would cease to exist. Refusing to let that happen, Adler became antagonistic to Elster, vowing to stop her by any means necessary.
Yeah, but he should help her if he knows that it's going to end the cycle. Instead of having the cycle happen again and again, help her end the cycle.
Making her familiar trek through the Sierpinski, this time having to fight through and dodge the monsters that filled its dark halls, and survive an assassination attempt by Adler. Something else that was an assassination attempt. The presence of Ariane's old friend, Issa, who was making her way through the facility searching for her twin sister, Ari, something she was determined to do alone. Issa appeared to be an anomaly in the loop, placed here by Ariane's memories instead of an association with the location, as when she was alive, Issa had never been stationed on the Sierpinski. Additionally, Adler, who had memories of so many previous cycles, didn't seem to recognize her or have memory of her. However, he quickly associated her with Elster in her loops, and as such, quickly moved to kill her. Although Issa had to fight him off on her own, stabbing him in the face with a knife, she and Elster did team up at one point to fight off a horrifying chimera creature that attacked her in nowhere.
You are on your own journey, I'm on my own journey.
Despite being saved by Elster, Issa was still determined to find her sister on her own.
Yeah,
so Elster
you do your own thing, dog. You do you.
Journey.
We should have robbed her blind, though.
The submerged Penrose, she failed to access the ship, tearing her arm off and dealing significant damage to her chassis in the process, seemingly failing in her quest once again. However, before she passed completely and was reset once again, the memory of her promise to Ariane came to her mind. It strengthened her resolve. And when she looked
what was
up,
it?
She controlling
found traumatic
Penrose,
something, and she
but the one that
rebooted.
looked more like the one at the start of her journey rather than the end. When she made it inside, she came across one of her past selves slumped over the ship's cryopod, which had a mass of flesh writhing within it. Elster was...
So I'm guessing that's a different ending right there, where Ariana's body, after a while, it becomes a mass of flesh, and then whatever ending where the chick didn't remember that Elstar was her lover, and then that's how Elstar died, and that was one of the cycles that I guess she failed because she wasn't able to kill the shorty.
In pretty bad shape and still needed to go through with her journey, so she pilfered parts off her previous self and continued on, returning to the Sierpinski, now covered with the masses of flesh which seemed to spread from nowhere below, and then eventually coming to Rotfront. Here,
I think the pound of flesh
Issa one last time,
I think the pound of flesh is just Ariana's mind being more and more corrupt and the cancerous thing just spreading more and more. That's why it's coming from the bottom.
Come to the realization that her sister was dead, that she would never see her again. Elster then watched as Issa dissolved into nothing, a victim of the cancerous sickness that was affecting everything in the dream world.
Makes sense.
Elster continued on, crawling through a hole in the wall to come once again to Ariane's radio room.
In Rotfront, yeah.
She picked up the King in Yellow, breaking the seal.
I don't know what King in Yellow actually means. Is there something in real life?
Leave the dream world forever. However, before she could return once again to the Penrose, she had one last obstacle to face.
But how is that leaving the dream world?
As a result of the sickness that had affected everyone else, she had come to the conclusion that she would never be with Ariane again, and attacked Elster in an attempt to become whole again. Despite Falk's incredible bioresonant powers, Elster was able to fight her off by stabbing her in the face with 6 spears. Elster then continued to the gate and came upon Adler, himself mutated by the sickness infesting the dream world. He made one last plea to Elster to stop her from continuing on.
If he just helped her, it would have ended the cycles.
She wasn't going to stop. He stabbed her in the face. Elster shot him in response.
I felt we should have dodged that.
As he lay dying upon the threshold of the gate, he could do nothing to stop Elster from continuing on. What happened next depended on the actions Elster took in her most recent adventure through Ariane's dream world. If she was conservative with her resources, kept her health high, and avoided fighting the monsters, then despite everything she'd just gone through, she wouldn't have the willpower to see Ariane again, to fulfill her promise.
That's the one we got. I don't buy that. We had low health the entire time. We killed a lot of enemies. You're telling me we didn't kill enough of them? And we talked to everybody too.
Standing as a reminder of yet another failure in future cycles.
Alright, so the cycle gets repeated.
If she had rushed
with
through
the ending
cycle,
that we got,
ignoring friend and foe alike, hurrying on with a single-minded purpose to reach Ariane at Journey's End, then she would enter the Penrose and come upon Ariane lying in the cryopod. However, perhaps due to the decay of the dream world, brought about by the cancer and sickness raging within it and Ariane as well, Ariane no longer recognized Elster or remembered the promise. And without her insistence,
that's gotta suck.
Elster couldn't follow through with it, instead slumping over Ariane's cryopod.
And that's the flesh, and that's the one we used.
Her, eventually passing from her wounds, and serving as the corpse that would give a future
But this time, since she didn't kill him, the pound of flesh came through it out of her.
If Elster was aggressive and combative in her adventure, never giving up despite the adversity in front of her, then when she entered the Penrose and came upon Ariane, she would remember her promise and have the willpower to carry it out, thus ending the cycle.
This chick is so lazy, she needs someone to come by and kill her. She'll take the entire world down if someone else wouldn't come do the job for her.
So long. However, these were not the only ways the story could end. In the radio room, just before the fight with Falk, was a safe chained up and locked with 3 padlocks. If, during her previous journey through Ariane's dream world, Elster had her radio tuned to a specific frequency at particular areas, then she could find the keys to these locks. The key of love was on a body in the torture room of the Sierpinski. The key of eternity lied on a bookshelf next to a painting in the storage dorms on the 8th floor of the facility.
How am I supposed to find that?
The sacrifice was in a box on one of the shelves in the back of the Ito bookshop. Once the chains were removed, Elster had to key in a code to unlock the safe, the code being the broadcast of numbers she heard when she first set out on her journey. Finally unlocked, the contents of the safe were revealed to be a pot of white lilies.
You should have just stopped at the pot.
Upon picking up the flowers, Elster was transported
to a ritual site, roll it up and
where she placed the lilies upon one of 6 pillars jutting out of the ground. An image that echoed a glimpse of a memory she received when she regained all her previous ones, perhaps suggesting that Lilith may have done something similar to this for Alina in the past. Elster then collapsed and at the base of each pillar was another version of herself, possibly previous versions that had completed the same ritual.
Yet nothing happened?
The pillars all surrounded a low pedestal that had a strange artifact glowing with a luminous light. Exactly what this ritual was for and what it did wasn't exactly clear, except for one result. In the clouds above a crashed Penrose, a gigantic red eye, apparently a power that heard the ritual, looked upon the ship, where inside, Elster and Ariane danced together.
So she survives.
Both apparently healthy and happy. Free from the cycle of misery both of them had been caught in for an untold amount of time. And with that, the story of Signalis comes to an end.
Damn, we should have got that ending.
When all laid out like this, it's pretty clear to see the influence of games like the early Resident Evils and Silent Hills that inspired the design.
That was pretty tight. We let's go ahead and close this. It's legit impossible for me to ever have discovered the artifact ending without actually Googling, finding spoilers, and then putting an extra couple amount of hours into the game to get that ending. And it sucks that they did that. I don't like that at all. Because you cannot tell me that someone went out and just figured that out by randomly having the radio in some tune or whatever frequency, and then randomly clicked that place and got all the three, and the passcode found out that was the pass. No, I hate when developers do that, man. The only way is to really dig into the game, and I'm pretty sure there's people out there who don't go to Reddit, who don't go to Google and stuff for their games. They just open up a game, play it, and experience it. And they had such a good ending, and you have to do something that you have to look up to actually get that ending. Is just the stupidest thing ever. Unless there's some sort of document she came across that explained it pretty openly, that you need to find these keys beforehand, like when the game's starting, and it tells you like some document you read and you decipher it, which is not too hard to decipher, then I'll be like, yeah, I understand. But the way they're showing it, where you have to figure it out yourself, or basically you have to go in the wiki and then people data mine whatever to find these things, I don't like that at all. I think that's really, really stupid. Good ending though. I wish we got that ending through just playing the game and making choices, and the choices you make, the decisions you choose, that's how you get that ending. I would have loved that. And if I knew about that ending exists and you have to do all that for it, I wouldn't give this game an 8.5. I'll probably give it like an 8.2 or 1 or something, because that sucks. That's a really good ending. That's an ending that I feel like we deserve after going through all that misery, putting everyone through that misery. And I think that's the one we deserve. But what does the eyeball mean? Is it a simulation? Is it a dream world? Why is everyone getting affected by what's happening to Ariana? Or is it something that's affecting everyone, but it's affecting her differently? Or she's the first? Usually when you get a disease, there's always somebody who got it first. So she's the one who got it first. Either way, that's that. I think now I have full closure of the game. I won't be thinking about it. Will we get it on Steam and play it again? Maybe, maybe not. Will we do a 100% run? Maybe, maybe not. Again, it's a game that I still rate within the 8s, but some part of it I still find interesting. Like, I like the concept of the game, but is it a game that I'm just like, oh my god, I love it, it's like one of the best games ever? No. But it would be nice to have it in the collection. It would be nice to see that we 100%ed it. But it'll be a while. That game has to be on sale on Steam for like $2, and I'll buy it. And I'm glad I played on Xbox Game Pass for free. Well, I have to pay for the subscription, but still. Yeah. I want to thank you guys for watching a little bonus episode. I was going to look this up anyways. This way we can watch it together. And yeah, I just don't have it in me to watch the whole 40-minute video, but I'll put links in the description for all the videos that we did view and the wiki. So if you guys want to check it out yourself, go ahead. And with that, Signalis is finally over with, completed. And from tomorrow, we'll be starting a brand new playthrough. Thank you all for watching. I am me, and I am out. Until next time, peace.